Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more standard best of one ranked. We are submitting Grixis. Grixis has been put on the shelf for a little while. We're going to break it back out today. This deck list is prioritizing beating up on mono red because mono red's really good and it's everywhere. We're using things like Cut Down and Go for the Throw along with Brotherhood End as our main removal suite in the early game, and then we're relying on cards like Shieldred and Virtual Persistence to make sure our life total is high in those matchups. Outside of that, we have some value cards along the way using Descendant Dragon, Siphon Insight, and Blood Tithe Harvester to draw cards or set our opponent back on card advantage in our hand. Some of these cards help us play around Liliana of the Veil and things like that. And then we have the Spicy Boy, the big ol' Spicer himself, the Blade Coil Serpent. A monstrous card that has a lot of effects. So other than that, we're just going to hop into the game, see how they go, and crush mono red if we can. All right, opponent goes first. We have a reasonable hand. We have all of our colors, so we'll keep. We have a Siphon Insight to maybe take cards from our opponent to help us catch back up, considering it's going to be mono white. Play our Grixis land. Thalia, going to slow us down a little bit. The annoying card it is. Just fine. We'll just play Black Leaf Cliffs, pass it up, Copper Coat, making it even harder to remove Thalia. And they are just pumping out spells, huh? Well, here's one of the problems. Kind of need to remove this, and it's a sorcery, so we gotta do it now. Then next turn we gotta hope no Brutal Cathar comes down, maybe play Shieldred, establish board presence, and then cut down some things. We are getting joked right now. They do nothing. Never mind, that's just an incredible draw. Or white mana, maybe they're playing around a board wipe. Definitely makes sense. Get him out of here. What a great draw to get us back into this game. That draw alone might even have won us the game. There's the Brutal Cathar we thought they might be holding on to. So let us play Stokazon. A little confusing to play here, but we're going to play out our Shieldred. The reason we want to cast a spell so this doesn't flip. But also, if they play a second Brutal Cathar, we can remove it when they go to combat, maybe with this Brutal Cathar. Or we won't get there. And that is one of the reasons Brotherhood End is a very good card to be playing in Best of One. Hand's like fine. We have like the cards to catch back up. It's whether or not we want to lead off with a cut down. And I don't think the answer is yes. I think we want to get this land in tapped while we can. Yeah, Kamano typically the lead off here. We played Black Leaf Cliffs. We find another one, so that's great. We'll play Blood Tithe Harvester. The reason we play Blood Tithe Harvester over holding up to cut down is most of the time they want to play a 2-mana threat, which generally isn't big enough to get through the Blood Tithe Harvester because it'll have toughness of 3 most of the time. However, in this case, obviously Phoenix Chick will get there. But in this case, this blocks, but now we have the cut down to remove some stuff. So we hold back Blood Tithe Harvester. And we keep up the cut down, and we're going to progress the game like this. Blood Tithe Harvester most likely will either block here or sack next turn and take something out. Never know. They might play Swift Spear, play with Fire the Harvester, maybe ignore it entirely, or play more copies of Kamano. That's also an option. And like we said, we'll go here. We'll see if anything comes up. Even if they monstrous rage like mono. Okay. We can deal with some stuff. We cannot deal with this. We'll negate all the damage for the turn. Take our turn here. Black Leaf Cliffs enter tap. We'll play second Blood Tithe Harvester to kind of serve the same purpose as it's been doing. If they commit to the board, we Brotherhood End. If they don't, we play Shieldred. Hopefully draw a land. We'll probably cycle this away. By this, I mean the Descendant Dragon. Again, we'll block. At some point, there's got to be a monstrous rage. And there it is. You're committing to the damage. Land. Last spell has to be damage spell, I imagine. Well, I kind of like that draw. We can gain some of our life back and hold up and make disappear. Maybe if they play a big spell, we can take it. But ours is just lands. So that's pretty funny. With 5 mana, we will let the make disappear go. Nowhere near as good as anything else in our hand. Corpse Appraiser's fine. Gildred's better with 1 card on top. With 1 card in hand. Of course, if we block, they can definitely... Or they can just cast the Witch Stalker Frenzy and just remove our Shieldred. So I don't know why they quite just gave up there. They definitely have outs. Alright, so we're just probably going to be cutting in here. We have a pretty decent hand, so we're going to lead off with the Lounge. Alright. It would be mono red. Here we go. Same scenario as last time we played red. We'll play the Bloodtithe Harvester out. Have it kind of body any 2-drop that they play. What are they going to do? This is what I referred to in the previous game. That Bloodtithe Harvester here is more important than the cut down for this exact moment where they want to play a 2-drop, make it a 3/3, and cut down is not big enough to remove it. So now we play second Bloodtithe Harvester. We just take this out. What we're playing, we just want to get to the late game with a Shieldred and a couple blood tokens to sack and draw some cards to gain that extra life back and make Shieldred impossible to remove. What is your plan, mono red? No, not play with fire. Sure. Resolving now after you played land? Yeah. If that was 2 lands, they would have lost some value there. Now they don't get to play mono. So, again, with the plan that I was talking about, I would love to play Shieldred here, but since mono red starts playing Frenzies and stuff, I want to play Corpse Appraiser. Find an second Shieldred is also just good, huh? That's a tough decision. Weirdly enough, I wanted to take a land. I think just grabbing second Shieldred, considering we're at 19, is just good here. Because, yeah, they can remove 1, but can they remove the second one? What is your decision now? Phoenix Chick. That happens. Fine with me. Can't really prevent that. Rend Resolve. Tapping out and then playing Rend Resolve again and not getting punished, so it's a decision that they can make. Here I am to play Shieldred and I will attack. I'll be able to frenzy my Shieldred here as well. They can attack with Phoenix Chick, Swift Spear, and if they have another creature or something, they'll be able to take it out. If they take their entire turn to remove this and take off their Swift Spear and Reckless Pulse, take that. You draw. They concede. Listen, I know Shieldred's a messed up card, but man, do I love playing it against mono red whenever my life total's high. It's probably one of my favorite things. I have the Restless Spire in our hand, but I don't think we can keep this. So one more. We'll keep. What do we even throw back here? We need 2 red. Black. I kind of want to have the rest if I can. This is definitely a hand where we can get punished on. 2 red and so Stormcarve, I guess. see. We are on the draw, so it might help us if they're aggro. Restless Fire, you'll just have to come down later. I guess with that potential draw, like drawing another land, maybe I should have kept the Stormcarved Coast and pitched back one of these lands. I thought having them in or untapped was important enough. We'll get the Spire down. Golgari, huh? Well, we like to kind of see this matchup, to be honest. It gives our cards a lot of value, like our Corpse Appraiser, because they play a lot of creatures. Our Descendant Dragon gets a lot of value in this matchup as well. We'll play another blue, and we'll pass. We'll let them stack the board for our Brotherhood End. And then if we can make this appear something or wipe the board and then Corpse Appraiser take out the Tenacious Underdog, we will. Like Corpse Appraiser taking out the Underdog, exiling it when it's in the graveyard is what I'm referring to. So they don't have the dash option here. I want to cast Brotherhood End anyway, so I'll let this resolve. We will do this. Liliana is a stick draw for us. We will play a tap land here because, again, Brotherhood's End is on the chopping block for our game plan. Best part about Descendant Dragon, too, is it gives us cards that are actually not vulnerable to Liliana. So now, even if they do play Lily, which they play Shieldred, which is perfectly fine, we now get to, guess what? Use their Liliana of the Veil to take it out. The Deathblade come in, Liliana of the Veil come down, make the spears held up for second Shieldred potentially, unless they hit another land drop. We'll take this out. If they dash the Underdog, which is 4 mana, I will cut down it to protect the Liliana, because I have a lot of spells that get more cards in my hand, and getting them when they're stuck on 3 cards is really good. I mean, I can't really stop that. I have no land. They do hit. Ah, they hit one. Restless Cottage, a really nice hit for them. My turn. Oh, plus. Go ahead and fire it off now. I think Make the Spear is not going to be good anytime soon here. What do you have, opponent? Pair Asunder, okay. I could play Shieldred, but I think playing more creatures out here is better than not. And we'll take out the Tenacious Underdog to keep that option gone. We just don't have the lands? Or we just need one more land for this? Honestly, it's in the deck. We're taking it. This is why we're here, you know? Now they have a Tortoise that can attack, but we can take it out. We have the biggest boy of all time. They do attack. Corpse Appraiser is probably the block. Second, Restless Cottage. These man lands is what's going to be hard to keep up with. Now let's do this. Extra toughness here on Appraiser is probably more important. Blood Type Harvester can only be activated at sorcery speed. That's also a problem. What do we do? You have to play land. Plus. I can't take out their Shieldred. That's the only Shieldred in play. Yes. Now we have that stuff. Now we have this to worry about. We'll let Cut Down go. Play Corpse Appraiser. We'll eat their Shieldred. I think we need Descendant Dragon here. Could have taken to Make this appear, but it only kind of stops like second Virtue. We'll attack. We have a plan of ulting Liliana now. probably be... Glissa makes sense. I don't know. Tortoise kind of makes more sense to me, considering, like, we have these Restless Cottages and we want to be able to activate them. But, screw up here. They're attacking Lily, so I think they might like the card in their hand. It's gonna be a real grindy game from here on out. Take that out. We'll get that taken out. Draw here, I would assume. They're gonna lose the card though. Nothing to do with Graveyard. We have a couple. We have one creature in the bin. Yeah, because our Corpse Appraiser is currently in play. I don't even really like. Stack that.
Your friends has to leave.
Red. Red. Black. Black. Blue. And blue. Okay. They concede. I don't know why when they have Virtue, but we were going to take the last card. It's going to have Haste. We're going to come in for 6, 9. Is Grixis truly back? Who knows? It is strong. It definitely is a lot more favored in best of 1 than I would say in best of 3. I think against like those Golgari matchups, they can be tough. We don't have a whole lot of ways to deal with enchantments, and this being the best like card in Eldraine to be released, it's kind of hard for them to actually like deal with it, like for us to deal with it. We have Make Disappear or stealing them with Descendant Dragon or something like that, or hoping our Shielder is enough. Hate Coil Serpent, however, this silly little goose, I love this stupid card. Like, it's so fun to play. We saw there at the end, they conceded before we got to do it, but we were going to draw a card, make them discard their last card, and then have 2 red, and their Virtue just somehow wasn't able to keep up with us, which is kind of interesting. Corpse Appraiser putting in work, especially against decks that play this card, and we are having to curve our meta around that a little bit because it was the most popular card submitted at Worlds. So it's definitely interesting to have that. But I definitely enjoy playing our opponent's cards, using a card like Descendant Dragon and Siphon Insight. I added these into the deck because I wanted more ways to hit like their lands if I can. But I don't know. It's Grixis. It's cool. It was really fun. We do get a man land in the Restless Spire. Probably one of the more lackluster ones of the bunch, but a good one nevertheless. Outside of that, that's all I got. Here's the deck list. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.